Hello, I'm Dr. Indu Khosla. I'm a pediatric pulmonologist attached to the NHSRCC Hospital for Children in Mumbai. I'm sure everyone is stressed hearing the news, numbers, increasing numbers, and also to top it all, when there is a news to say that this is now affecting the younger population. As a pediatrician, yes, we have been seeing increasing number of children who are turning COVID positive, and this time it is not necessary that only the parents are positive and then the child is positive. It is also true that the child is positive and then the family gets positive. Why is this happening? First of all, the virus this time is called the double mutant virus, which has the propensity to attack the younger population. It is also very infectious. So if one person in the family has it, most members of the family land up being COVID positive. But the good point is most kids have fever, cold, cough. Some are even asymptomatic. These symptoms last for 3 to 5 days and most of them recover. I cannot give you a percentage, but I would say majority would recover. Few unfortunate children would have fever which will be going on for a little longer period of time. So we have seen kids in this pandemic who've had fever for 8 to 10 days and 12 days. And these kids, we need to do a certain more investigations in the form of blood tests, etc. to confirm that the COVID is not really causing harm to the child and it is mild and it will probably go away without too many medicines. Though some of them may land up getting some medications. Older kids behave like adults, so you are likely to have more problems if you have an older child about 10 years, 11 years, who's almost like an adult. What I want to also tell you that some of these children after 2 to 3 weeks of having COVID again get fever, and this time it can be accompanied by red eyes, rashes on the body, loose motions, vomiting, also a weakness. So COVID is coming with these multi-systemic symptoms when it is coming later on after 2 to 3 weeks, and this is something which you must be aware of and bring it to the attention of your doctor to tell him that these are the symptoms in the child, because this is something which might require hospitalization and management if you or your child is unfortunately COVID positive. First of all, please be calm and don't panic. That is the first treatment of even if you're COVID positive. The second important thing is stay indoors so that you do not spread the infection to others. 99% of people who get COVID generally have mild symptoms. If you have no comorbidities, no risk factors, you will all sail through without any major problems. So this you must please keep in mind and not panic. So let us take a few situations. Suppose a woman is pregnant and say she is about 5 to 6 months pregnant and she is detected to be COVID positive. What should she do? The first thing is she must meet her gynecologist and inform the gynecologist about it so that he or she can further help the patient. But in whatever limited data we have, it is not shown to cause major problems in the fetus in a pregnant woman. So at 5 to 6 months, one would definitely recommend continuing the pregnancy, careful monitoring and follow-up of such a patient. If the COVID positivity occurs in the first 3 months of pregnancy, where the fetus is in the stage of formation, we honestly still do not have much data to know how this virus can affect the growing baby inside the womb. I would recommend that you meet your gynecologist, discuss the pros and cons, and then take a decision here. Let's take a situation 2. Mom has just delivered a baby and at that point of delivery she is COVID positive. What should she do? Should she breastfeed the baby? Yes, the answer is yes. She should breastfeed the baby. All the precautions should be taken. Hand washing, hand sanitization, face mask. Feed the baby and keep the baby away from you. That is what she should do. Definitely she should continue to feed the baby, but keeping the precautions of preventing spread to the baby. The baby will definitely need to be tested, and the baby will need to be tested 2 days after delivery, and then subsequently on a follow-up again the baby will have to be tested on day 7. If the child is still positive, a follow-up test will still have to be done. Will the baby have problems? The answer is mostly no. So most babies do well, and even if they are COVID positive, if they contract it from their mother, they generally do well and most of them are asymptomatic. But if the baby has fever or any other symptoms, then you need to contact your doctor. Let's take a third situation. Now in this situation, suppose the child is positive and the mother is positive and the father is negative. What to do? So here the mother and child can be quarantined in one room for about at least 10 to 14 days where the rest of the family can be in a separate room. Very important that if there are grandparents at home, they have to be kept separately, because they are the ones with maximum risk, and therefore they are the ones to be completely separated. So the mother and child can be together, full diet, normal activities, breastfeeding if the child is breastfed can be continued. What happens in a situation if the child is positive and the mother is negative? Now suppose, especially if this child is a toddler, say a 2-year-old. Now a 2-year-old cannot stay separate, so the mother will have to be with the child and stay quarantined with the child. In a situation like this, it is important to judge if the mother has any comorbid factors, like whether she has got, say, diabetes, or she's got some lung disease, or she's got hypertension, etc. So if she doesn't have any comorbid factors, the child can continue to stay with the mother and both will have to be quarantined. If the mother has comorbid conditions, another parent or a grandparent, I would not say grandparent, but another parent the father could probably take charge of the child, right? And it's not a good idea to send the child away to the grandparents' house if the parents are positive, because the child may still, even if asymptomatic, even if negative, may be still carrying the virus and may pass it on to the grandparents. Now let me talk to you about vaccination for COVID. I will talk to you about vaccination for children as well as for pregnant mothers and lactating mothers. Let's talk about the pregnant mothers and lactating mothers. There was a lot of controversy on this topic, whether pregnant or lactating mothers could take the vaccine, but now most of the guidelines have cleared the use of vaccination for both pregnant and lactating mothers. So it's better to be safe and go ahead and take the vaccines, as most of the guidelines have cleared it. What about children? So we know internationally there are a lot of trials which are going on for children above the age of 2 years up to the age of 12 years for vaccine. And our very own Indian vaccine is also conducting some trials for vaccinating children. I think we will have clarity by this year end whether children can be vaccinated against COVID. But till we have more data, we have to hold on. Once the data comes, the guidelines will also come. And if the guidelines say, yes, you must go ahead and take it, then we should probably take it. But we should wait on till then. Coming on to wave 3, we have opened up now. As per the guidelines of the government, the COVID number of cases has come down. We are very happy to see in Maharashtra, the number of cases have come down drastically, and Mumbai also leading the way by having very less cases. So things are opening up now. How should we be while the city and the state and the country in many parts is opening up? Yes, I would say we have to be still cautious. We cannot be let down our guard. We need to continue wearing masks. We need to do hand sanitization. We need to avoid crowded places. So everything that is opening up is also opening up to almost 50% of its capacity and not full. So that tells you that you cannot let down your guard, and therefore all the precautions should continue. Yes, you can let your children out down to play in an area which is open with masks on, so where they're in the open space, probably they can get down and play. It is important that you structure your child's day. So from morning to evening, there should be like a timetable for your child, so that the child is involved and busy, so that child doesn't get bored, doesn't spend too much time on the screen. There has to be time for reading, there has to be time for activity, there has to be physical activity, there has to be a sleep schedule. So all this is very, very important. I know parents, it's taxing on you, but this is very, very important. You must have all read in the newspapers and all over the media that this wave 3 which will come will be very bad for younger kids and for children. And how should we prepare ourselves for this wave 3 which is supposed to be bad in children? Now let me give you my thoughts on this. Yes, we might have a wave 3. We will have more cases probably in children, because the adults would have either been vaccinated or many of them would have suffered from the disease. Some of the children also have suffered from the disease. So these are people who would probably be protected, but there would be some children who have neither suffered nor obviously not vaccinated. So they have a higher risk of definitely catching an infection. But will it be severe? Will it lead to hospitalization? Will it behave like the adults, leading to severe lung disease? My answer is probably no, because the same reasons that we have seen in the past, that children are protected against COVID because their immunity is different, they have a higher lymphocyte count, the ACE receptors where the COVID virus binds they have less of those receptors, and children have other viral infections which compete with the COVID virus probably, and therefore children are less likely to get severe infections. So we need to wait and watch. I mean, I'm not saying that 100% that we will not have very severe disease, but I would think that we will not have very severe disease, and we must take our precautions to even prevent the mild disease that might so happen. Yes, one word of caution is on the MIS-C, which is a syndrome which is seen in children, which occurs 2 weeks post-COVID infection, where children can come with fever, rash, red eyes. That we need to still look out for, because those kids who have suffered from COVID can have it, and then you need to contact your doctor for further management and treatment. So parents, don't let down your guard. Be calm. India is getting better. Our number of cases are getting lesser. And even if children are getting infections, they are milder. So please don't worry, but don't let down your guards. Thank you.